and I got other stuff going on, so I'm not necessarily here 100% of the time.
Nice door.
Yeah.
Door.
Yeah, for security purposes. I don't want to come back and find somebody squatting, right?
Well, I mean, you got 2 securities.
It helps.
And obviously, to get it to the elevators, you got to get past the security.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you were here all the time, it wouldn't be that concerning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing too.
Yeah, I just figured if I'm gonna stay here, might as well have it all secure as much as possible.
3-478. What's the 3?
I have no idea how numbers work here in Thailand.
Because that has nothing to do with 14.
No. No, not at all. That's why, you know why they do that too, is they don't want people who get a mailing address to know exactly where. You have to tell the person specifically what floor they're on.
Oh.
Yeah, they can't just, if you don't give them a certain aspect of the information, they can be searching all day up and down.
Yeah, because they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
By default, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you go out last night?
So.
Yeah, if you're here all the time, sure, it eventually dries out and you can only go out occasionally, right?
Yeah, yeah.
See them when you see them all?
Yeah, yeah. So you got a short trip, huh?
Yeah, because I started a new job in November, and the guys have been talking about coming here for the New Year's. And I said, well, if I'm not working, I'll go. So I kind of was pre-planning it, and then I got a job.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, let me see how I can word this in. So I waited for the right time. Me and my manager had a conversation. He was talking about the holiday break. It's quiet.
Yeah.
I said, oh, really? I said, I had some previous plans, but I had to put them on hold. I played that. Feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
He's like, well, no, go ahead and go. I said, are you sure? Yeah, go ahead and go. He goes, you want 2 weeks? And I'm thinking it's no pay. So I was like, how about 7, 8, 9 days? No problem, just let me know. So I kind of worked it. So it's 10 days.
Yeah.
So I took off, yeah.
Nice.
And a little bit more expensive than what I typically pay, but it was kind of a short notice. And
yeah, and plus it's the holiday period.
Yeah. So I just ran with it, and it's been a good trip so far. I mean, I've kind of did some of the same stuff, but a little different. So
Yeah.
Just to see different things.
Nice. Go ahead.
And, this was one of the conversations I wanted to have last time.
Oh, really?
Because I was starting to, feel around, talk to Daryl, and go around the internet, about retirement visas. And
Yeah.
so, it just worked out.
Mm.
All your neighbors, huh?
Yeah. Yes, all the neighbors.
So, is there a lot of locals or expats?
Yeah, I see a fair amount of expats at this time of the year. Now, in our summer, in the summer months, yeah, it drastically reduces because it's so friggin' hot out here. So, plus a lot of the winter birds are not here.
So are they renting here, buying, or buy?
Combination of both.
Okay.
Some of them, Derek over here, you met him once or twice. He's here full time because he's retired, but he's a lifelong renter.
Okay. And then Danny also was talking about it. He's telling me a little about that. He has a unit here, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't stay that long, I guess.
He comes and goes quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Now, he has 2 units, right? Did he sell that second unit already?
I don't know. Well, I think so. That was on second row over there. Or one that had more amenities. Or
Yeah, I think.
I was trying to keep up with it. It's kind of hard to hear in the club.
Yeah.
But he said he had one that had the gym and
Yeah.
amenities, and then he said he mentioned this one.
Yeah, I like this area just because there's so much of what I want.
It's small. I fit it here on the. They have electronics on the third floor.
Yeah, because you know I work from home a lot, and I need IT stuff, and I need, you know, if I need printer cartridge, printer paper, my fax machine goes out.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have it right here. So, yeah. So I like having everything here.
Cool. The weather's been tolerable this evening. How are you? Good morning. Good. Yes. Work together. Yeah. Friends. You have green tea? Hot. But can I have midnight ice on the side? Hot green tea. You have ginger tea? That's passion. You have green though. Green tea, right? Yeah, I'll take green tea. Yeah. And then no ice on the side. Hot. Whatever you want. Yeah. Probably that's yeah, for here. For his. Well, for his, yeah. Can you make that decaf? Yeah.
Those girls know me too because I come here quite a bit. I give them lottery tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so once a month I come through here and just hand them a lottery ticket.
To gamble? Or
No,
just
it's
luck.
It's it's the lottery ticket that has numbers already pre-printed, and then they draw them at the 5th of the month. And Thai people are very, very superstitious. Plus, they love lottery tickets for the dream of.
They would love bingo.
Yeah, so they love the dream of being able to buy a house. So even if the odds are ridiculously bad.
Yeah, I can imagine what property would it cost out here. You know, I was looking for a place to have ginger hot tea. I couldn't find any place around here.
Well, what you should do next time is just go to the store and just buy some packets.
Yeah, I started to look. I was at the mall and there was a tea kiosk, but I didn't see anything with ginger in it.
Yeah, I buy it one that's I buy it at Food Mart.
Food Mart?
Yeah, that's on the way to Yom Tien. But you know, you should download this app called Lazada, and you could pretty much find anything there.
Is it a store? Lazada?
It's an online store.
Okay.
So I type in ginger tea and all this crap pops up.
Okay, Lazada.
Yeah, I buy something like this. And it's pretty strong. So I have to either dip it only once, or if it's a packet, the granules,
Yeah.
I only use like a third. Because they're really strong. But
Yeah,
they got
I
tons of them. They got the little tea packets, where they got the actual granules, or they got the sacho pack.
I thought of it. I was shopping at Villa Market, but I had already left and I thought
Yeah.
about it and I said,
Yeah.
oh shit. So I said, I'll just go get a cup somewhere. And Amazon Coffee didn't have it. Starbucks over there didn't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, they have it at Food Mart, which is it's like as you're going down the hill into Yom Tien, before you get to the turnoff,
Yeah.
where the bus station is, if you're taking the bus to Bangkok.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
right.
right.
Where it curves with
yeah,
the beach.
but the bus stop, next to the bus stop is a grocery store called Food Mart, and it's mostly for expats without the villa prices.
How long have you lived here?
I got sent out here in 2014 to work full time.
In 14.
Yeah, to work full time. So I lived out here in 2014. Then lived out here for 2.5 years, and as much as I love Thailand, the comforts of home and be able to call and get your AC fixed and internet working and all these other things is just too hard to resist. So I told the companies and contractors I was working for is, I don't want to live here full time. If you want to send me out here twice a year, that's cool. But I want to live out here full time.
So your company sent you out here.
Yeah, so I'm on a work assignment right now. That's why I got sent out here.
Okay. And you're from Seattle, Washington?
Yeah.
Big change of weather. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
from the dampness, the cold.
I don't like the winter, so I specifically asked them sometime between November and March I'd like to be here. And they work it out, so
And you're getting paid.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better situation.
Now, so you own your condo.
It's my third one. Okay, so the first one I bought all the way out in Yom Tien. And we had an office out there. I mean, I'm talking way deep on Yom Tien. So you know when you go around the bend and you start where the police box is in Yom Tien, you walk all the way.
Yeah.
You can walk forever, basically,
Yeah, it keeps
right?
going. I
Yeah,
was
it
there.
never stops.
Yeah, I was there.
I was literally like 10 miles down that way. Yeah, because that's where our office was. So I bought a condo there, and I didn't know anything about condo buying. Then the office moved again, and moved to Pratam Nak, which is Big Buddha Hill,
Okay.
where all of the tour buses
Yeah, I
are.
was there too. I went there.
And I lived in a place called Renaissance Residence or something like that.
Like-
And it was a nice place.
Like a suite living, like a.
Yeah, it was only 6 floors, but only four people per floor.
That's
So you didn't have like, you know, in my wing right now there's lots, but I'm also in a strategic area. So my floor has like what, 50 people living on the floor on both the 3 wings.
Yeah, your wings can go out pretty far.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I mean, I
they're-
think I passed what 6, 7 units just on your wing.
Yeah. So total,
Times 3?
yeah. So both sides of the floor. So we got like 50 people on each floor, right? So that's a lot. Coming from a floor that I lived on in Pratam Nak that only had 4. Only problem with Pratam Nak was I had a 7-Eleven downstairs, but I had no grocery store close by.
You can't be eating 7-Eleven food all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's okay for quick stuff. But
yeah, but it's a hassle trucking all that stuff on your motorbike all the time, right? Going to the market and stuff.
Yeah.
Some stuff is heavy, like milk and sugar and crap. And I was like, okay, I'm spending all my time taking little motorbike trips.
Yeah, because you want to be.
Yeah.
I was talking to Richie about that. But go ahead. I want to hear your story.
So, I thought this whole living in Cozy Beach was going to be awesome. Nice, quiet living. But then ultimately, every time somebody wanted a coffee or wanted to have a meeting, I had to truck all the way down here, right? And I realized, okay, this is the peaceful living is nice, but nobody wants to come to see me out in the middle of what they consider too far away.
Yeah.
They want to be in the heart of the action.
Yeah, there's a balance between your peaceful living and amenities and convenience.
And then when my fax machine went down and I needed toner cartridge, I had to come out here, and I was like, man, I should live out here, because half the time
You're out here.
they either want to meet at Central Festival or they want me here in Pattaya Thai by TechCom, right?
Yeah.
And TechCom has Mr. DIY Fix This Store, paint shops, they have the electronics, they have the Starbucks, they have the food, they have the night market, the day market, they have a day market right here.
Okay.
And so I thought, you know what, I got to be closer to everything. So then I told my agent back it was 2 years before COVID, find me a unit that's minimum 100 square meters. You know, I wanted a big place for myself. And you got to realize that they're overbuilding here, and most of the new units are smaller. So you saw Danny's place, very tiny. Oh, you didn't?
No, I haven't.
Danny's place is 50 square meters, which is really tiny.
Yeah, I asked him a little bit about it, and he did say it was small, but for him, he says it.
He likes to keep the AC cranked, and it's expensive. Like, did you notice I didn't have the AC on? I had the
fans.
windows open and fans, right? Because when I run the AC nonstop,
You have a lot of windows.
yeah, when I run the AC in my unit, which is over 2,000 square feet, I'm
Constantly running.
yeah, I'm spending an arm and a leg. I'm just spending a mortgage payment on the AC unit.
Yeah.
So you got to balance that kind of thing, right? So Danny, he loves it chilled in his room. So he keeps the blinds closed, but it doesn't cost a lot to air condition a 500 square foot place, right?
Yeah.
So his place is small enough, and he can.
I do the same in Livermore. You know where Livermore is at, Bay Area?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it gets hot. For me, it's hot. I mean, it'll hit 109, 107 on summertime. And my house is 14,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Yeah.
Been there 27 years. And I do the same because of PG&E costs. So, I mean, I don't run it till it gets about 79, maybe 80.
Yeah.
And I run the fan a lot.
Yeah.
I bought another fan not to run the...
Or sometimes you run a combination of AC and fan, right?
Yeah.
That works pretty well. I do it at nighttime for sleeping.
Just enough to where it's comfortable for me.
Yeah.
But I know other people, they say, oh no, I keep my house at 75, 76. I said, wow. And if they have a bigger square footage home, I said, you're just giving your money away to PG&E.
Yeah.
So I know how to do that budgeting and balancing there. Where here, it doesn't bother me.
So keep this also in mind. Some buildings are going to be on the government electricity rate, and some are going to be on the private rate. I was on the private rate, and my electricity was 3 times expensive. I'm in a building now where it's government rate, so I'm paying about a third of what I was paying in my previous building.
Is it because of location?
They have
the
different
unit?
contracts and set up, right? Yeah. Who was the developer? Was it a Thai developer? Who developed it? Where it's located?
So that's something to consider when you...
Right. So
Where
it
your
dep-
PG&E sources come
Yeah.
from.
So it depends on how big your unit. I guess when if you're only going to look for a small unit, 500 square feet, then whether you go government rate or private rate, it's not going to matter. You get into a unit like mine, I would have never bought it on a private rate because it would have been 3 times more expensive. I'm already spending $200 to $350 a month on electricity, but I can live with that on the public rate. But let's say I have a bad month and it's $300, and then I'm paying triple that. That's $900, $1,000 I'm paying in electricity, right? So that's why I bought the bigger unit knowing that I got the public rate.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And he did touch on a little bit of his water bill and groceries and I mean, so we're cost of living back in California. For me, I was born and raised here all my life.
Yeah.
I've seen it creep up through my career, through my job, through pay raises and just economics. It just keeps climbing. and I've reached the point where like, fuck you guys just keep raping me.
Yeah, it's tough to live in America.
Auto insurance, my home mortgage insurance.
Notice how we don't need a car. If you live strategically, I mean, I have a moped. That gets me around when I need to get a little bit further.
Did you get a license for it?
No, that's another thing. I paid a guy to get a license. I got scammed. So I get scammed still, right? I've been around long enough where I don't get scammed too much, but I still got scammed.
It happens.
Yeah.
I would imagine it.
Yeah, so I paid a guy, and this came referred on Facebook to a couple of the guys. They say, hey, do you know this? And they go, yeah, some people used it, they liked it. And then I thought, okay, and then I used it and I didn't get my license. I said, hey, I think you said this was a legit. And they go, yeah, they heard from other people that it was legit, but then it became not legit.
Maybe the people giving reviews are scammers too.
yeah. So, but anyways, when you're in a strategic area like this, I can walk to almost everything.
That's what I'm always like, I don't want to say quizzing, that's a wrong word to use, but I always try to get their other people's opinion. Just their perspective on how do you see this place, or would you ever move here? Or so as we walk through here, I asked them, would you ever live here? Like, because when you walk out, you're amongst all the tourism all the time.
Yeah.
Or would you rather go live, like you said, farther out? But I know if the farther you get out, yeah, you might be peace and quiet. You might see the water.
Yeah.
But you're gonna hike it back to if you need something.
And I was getting tired for me myself.
Well, if you're the only one running chasing it.
Right, and so I was coming back here so often, I was like, okay, this is not for me. If for a person who is a homebody and never leaves home, loves to just be in their house or their condo or their townhouse, yeah, that's perfectly fine. If they never leave their place.
If you wanted to
meet your friends,
go
out, get a cup of coffee.
Yeah. It's just.
And there would be times where someone says, meet me at Central Festival, and I think, okay, here it is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I gotta fight the traffic, I gotta fight the Big Buddha Hill. That's gonna take me 30 minutes to 40 minutes to get to Central Festival. Then we have our coffee, they're gonna hike at 30, 40 minutes to get back. This whole process is a 2-hour process.
Yeah.
I don't wanna spend 2 hours just to get a cup of coffee. So I say a lot of times, no thank you.
And I like Central. Most of my time that I'm here, I'm always there every day, probably, or every other day. Just coffee, shopping, browsing, whatever.
Yeah. Because that's where Danny lived before.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Across the street, right?
Yeah.
So he was. I had the same feeling when I was in Bangkok. I walked, because the times I came, I would split it up, and maybe 3 or 4 days I'd spend in Bangkok on the tail end of my time, just to get acquainted. And I met some girls, and they shared where they live on the condo, how to take the train, the
BTS
Sky train, So I've been to the Paragon malls, and I looked at the condos, and I said, as far as what was there being built, I don't know if I'd like to come out of my condo, my 37-floor condo building, and walk out into all this crowd.
Yeah. So you got to figure out, hey, do I want Bangkok living or Chonburi, beach view, nightlife?
In Bangkok, what they told me, I met a massage lady, and I have another friend that she works for a optometrist. She's really nice, clean girl, got a good education. She don't fool around. I just became friends with her, and I wanted somebody solid that I could go to dinner with and talk to. So she, after being comfortable with me a few times, she showed me the map on her phone with the SkyTrain, where she goes, where she lives. Because I said, you don't live here amongst all this. She said, no, it's work. So she lives about 35 minutes south, which takes you towards the China Sea area. On the BTS train.
Most of the locals, they commute in for work.
Yeah, and it's a big, like, I think it's like 35-floor condo living unit, complex. Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah. That's how Thais live.
That's where they live.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I was supposed to try to take the BTS because I wanted to get off, walk around and see where it was at, but I don't know if I'd like to live in a 35-floor unit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I come from, your way of living back home is different.
That's why I always tell people, don't be in a rush and rent Airbnb units that you're looking to buy. So you should get on these bunch of different publications where you can scour condos for sale in Chonburi and look at some units that you like that you would consider buying. And then once you narrow it down to like 3 or 4 units, live in them for a week.
Just to get acquainted with
Yeah.
the area if you like it.
Do you like the area? Do you like the shopping, the grocery stores?
Yeah.
Able to go to the open market, getting the laundry done, you know.
Yeah, because when you're on vacation, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
I learned where I like to stay. That's
Yeah.
why I stayed like soy 13, soy 11, because I'm like right in the middle. I can branch off anywhere
Yeah.
and walk. But to live, you're right. I mean, I don't think I'd like to live right in the center of it. Because
Yeah.
if you need to get out, you're stuck in all that traffic.
Yeah. And so I always tell people, rent the unit that you're thinking about buying before you buy it. People are always in a hurry to buy very quickly.
Yeah, because it's a long process. I mean, if you plan it.
But just rent for a week. You don't have to rent for a month if you don't want to rent for a month. But rent for a week in an Airbnb, stay in it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the unit you're buying. It can be something similar, but you just want to get a feel for the building.
Yeah.
How's the security? How's the management? When you come and go, is there 5,000 people Airbnb coming in and out of your building?
Yeah.
Is there constantly people coming in their taxi cabs? Is there coffee shops close by? If you want to grab a bite to eat, get medicine from the pharmacy or a clinic,
Yeah.
is there one close by?
Your unit, you're in my opinion, you're in a central area, but your unit is tucked away.
Yes.
So you're kind of.
So we don't get the riffraff walking by nonstop.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can see that. Now, if you were gonna drive, that's a little different. Then you got to get out on this, but
Yeah.
you could walk past this and then hit a button. Bus.
Yes. There's a couple side exits for me, and so I can skip people and hop onto a motorbike taxi stand.
Yeah, it's so. Explain to me a little bit about the visa and how do you go about doing that to apply?
Yeah, so the retirement visa is pretty easy to do. You can do the paperwork yourself, but people have a hard time translating the Thai. It takes a number of, you apply, you have to turn it in, you have to wait, and some people say, hey, this is a little bit too cumbersome. So I think Danny pays some fee to get it done for him,
Okay.
a couple $100 or you'll have to ask him tonight how much he pays, but he pays a little bit of money, and that way he doesn't have to stand in line and deal with it for 3 days.
So, how would you go about applying or doing that? Online, or is it?
Yeah, so you would get onto the Thai embassy site, and they have the paperwork, and you can read up on from where you're from the U.S., what paperwork you need, what visa number, and start the process of the paperwork.
And how long does it last then?
I believe the first time, I don't know if you do a reporting in 6 months, but you know, it's a 1-year visa, and then you continue to automatically renew
Renew it.
every year.
Yeah, because
See, I'm on a different program. I'm on a constant 1-year work visa that the company sponsors.
Oh,
So that's why I've done so very little research on retirement visas, because I'm on a
different.
I'm on a continuous work visa forever now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the company just sponsors.
It's a good company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's huge difference.
Yeah.
But
Danny knows more about that. But you can get onto the Thai embassy website, the official Thai, and pull up the paperwork, print it.
I read it once, a little bit, over a year ago, and it talked about showing your a pension or a certain amount of money in the bank account.
Yeah, I think you have to have, 500,000 baht.
Yeah, I think it was equivalent to like, I don't know, 70,000 US dollars or something like that. So that's not a problem, but and then I read, and I was also told by one of the gals that I met in Bangkok. She says that it's only for a year, and she said most people, they leave. I said, what do you mean leave? Well, yeah, they go Vietnam or something for a couple of days, and they come back and renew. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, what do you mean? I mean, at my age, you think I'm gonna be packing it up in a backpack and have to leave to another?
Yeah, some people are on an old visa and some kind of different programs where I think they save a little bit of money by leaving for the weekend and then coming back.
And then having to reapply again.
Yeah. There's some ways to save some money. I mean, you got to understand, there's a lot of people who are on budgets here, so they're doing every little thing they can to save some money.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for that as well. But
Yeah.
if you bought a place, or if I bought a place, I mean, it's kind of like, what do you mean I have to leave?
Yeah. You need the standard retirement visa for you.
Probably, yeah. So when you're in this area, have you ventured out and traveled to like Vietnam or Philippines?
Yeah, but I've done that through work.
Okay. So you're in a good area here to go do that. I think everything's like an hour and a half from here.
No, everything in Asia is close.
Oh, we're less than really.
Yeah, you know, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos,
Yeah.
they're all close. Now, Philippines a little bit longer. What is that, a 5.5 hour flight?
From Bangkok.
Yeah,
Okay.
so is Japan.
So in buying the condo, back to that, do you go through an agent or?
Yeah, I did because I wanted the agent to take care of the paperwork, and I just would never buy a condo without an agent protecting my back and reading all the Thai paperwork, making sure that there isn't a lien or debt on the mortgage title.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a foreigner here. Now, if I had to make an estimate and say, you know, 15% of the foreigners here might buy a property on their own without getting an agent or getting a lawyer, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I would definitely go through an agent because I ran into one in Mike's Mall. I got her card, you know, right away they want her information. No, I'll call you when I'm ready. Because she said condos and homes all over, but buying a house, I was told you have to be married to a Thai citizen.
Yeah, you have to be married to a Thai citizen, or you have to set up a corporation, and the corporation buys the land and you own.
Right,
and
LLC, yeah. And
It gets to be real tricky.
yeah, so I think I would rather go to a condo.
Yeah.
Because as I get older, it's like, I don't want a house. I'd rather just come and go.
Yeah.
But she did say, yeah, lots of non-citizens like condos.
Yeah.
So it's yours. I mean, is there any contract on how long you own it?
No. It's not like Mexico, like 100-year ownership. No, you own it outright.
And is the like association, is that expensive? Or?
No, my unit that's as big as it is, I think I paid 29,000 baht, which is, I want to say about $900
A year.
for the condo dues. Now, Danny, he pays, his unit is quite a bit smaller, and I think he probably pays less than $300.
So it's based on your size of your
Yeah.
unit.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recommend any realtors around here?
The one that Danny and I both used is a guy named Alex.
He's in this area?
Yeah. Let me call him, see if he's available.
Well, you can just shoot me his information.
Well, I don't have his information because, you know, it's online app. And in Line app, he has to send you or send me his QR code.
Oh. Well, when I'm ready, I'll do some research. Maybe I'll call that lady and talk to her. Bring a little bit.
Yeah. So Danny and I used I forget the name of the company, but I'll look it up for you later on.
Yeah, no hurry. I mean, I'm not looking to buy in the next 6 months. But how much do you think in today's market to buy a unit similar to yours, somewhere in the middle between your size and Danny's?
Okay, Danny's condo, you gotta understand, there's a big range. So I got a couple friends from California. They bought in older, cheaper buildings, and they bought Danny's size, and I think they only paid like, I want to say $1 million baht, so $30,000. Then you on the same unit in a brand new building, it can cost you 90,000 to 150. Brand new building, okay, 90,000 to 150,000 for a brand new unit, same size. My unit, I can't remember how much I paid for it now. I bought it during COVID, so I don't want to give you COVID price because I got a ridiculous price. But let's say my condo now sells for 5 million, 30, 60, 90, 150,000, okay? But if you bought that same unit in a brand new building or newer building, I would say almost double.
Yeah, newer construction, but you also got to look at the infrastructure on a newer building.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with yours, but the prices of materials and labor, it's gonna.
I didn't want to commit over 300,000 on a brand new unit with the size I needed. I needed size because I was tired of a small kitchen in my 2 previous condos. I love to cook, and so I said I want more open space. And so I said to the realtor, how much is it going to have to pay if I get into a newer building? He said, over 300,000. I said, I don't want to pay that much. He goes, how about an older building? I got one right here, Center Condo. And so I said, okay. And then I was able to get it. And it was even cheaper than 150 because I bought it during COVID. And I think I paid like
Yeah, that was
90.
that was kind of a slow. I mean, obviously slow time economically everywhere.
Yeah,
It was the best time to buy a house.
yeah. I bought it virtually. I didn't actually see the unit.
Oh, shit.
So I was a little
You
worried.
bought it on video camera?
Yeah. The guy came in and
Man, I can't do that.
I know, I was a little terrified because I never spent like, I mean, 90,000 is still 90,000, right? And yes, it was 150 and I'm getting it for 90.
That's
And
good.
so I'm still saving 60, but it's still 90,000 you want me to buy without actually stepping foot. But it was too good of a deal to pass up. And so this is where you're going to have to decide, hey, like Danny decided, hey, at the beginning he said, I want nice. So he had a nice gym, nice spa. He has 3 different pools that are
That's the one he
infinity
was
pools.
talking about, yeah. I think I know the building. It's that dark brown building, the tall one.
And he was loving it. But then he realized, hey, security isn't all that great. Too many Airbnb people coming and going. He said the amenities here were better for what he was looking for. And then he likes to go to Walking Street a lot, which is closer. He had a truck all the way out there, from out there to here. And Walking Street is more fun for him. That's where he meets his buddies. And then he said, the people are just friendlier in my building. He goes, every single time I come and visit you, the people are so nice.
At your spot.
Yeah. And he goes, yeah, your grocery store is like, take a look at Scotty's grocery, well, the next time you're back in town, take a look at our Scotty's grocery store. It's kind of like a mom and pop grocery store.
Okay. Is
The
that
one
downstairs?
the ones he goes to that are not grocery stores but the convenience stores are 7-Eleven and Family Mart, which are nicer, right? Clean,
Family,
nice.
which one?
Family Mart and 7-Eleven. So those are like mini marts. Mine is just a mom and pop mini mart. So he goes, yeah, yours is not as fancy as mine.
You gotta give and take.
But then he realized he liked my amenities better, and so then he sold this place and moved into my building.
So both of you were already living here before you made your purchase. You have to.
Yeah, we
whether you were renting or.
Yeah, we've been here for over a dozen years, understanding the lay of the land, basically.
And then you're ready to buy, which I think it's the smartest thing rather than just.
Yeah, people are in
vacation.
too much of a hurry here.
Yeah.
I would tell people to rent, even for a very short period of time. Make sure you love the area, because the second condo I bought, I really should not have bought in that area. I got stuck in the Chinese tour bus zone,
Oh shit.
and it took me forever to get out of that 5-way, you know, the
Oh yeah, up
snake.
here by the Buddha.
Yeah, big Buddha.
Yeah.
I got stuck in that mess every single day.
I was there last.
Buses coming and going in my area all the time, going down to the fancy restaurant down below me. So they bypassed it with their dust kicking big old bus and making home
That's
noises.
good to know, because I was telling Richie, I said, I think I'd rather like to live in Jomtien Beach because it's
Yeah.
cleaner, the people look different. But yeah, because you're going to be stuck with that.
Yeah. So you got to live in
Coming and
that.
going.
Yeah, yeah. But and the only way you know is by living in the area. Like, you live in an area and then you find out, oh, there's a bar downstairs that's noisy till 4 a.m. You got to know these kind of things, right?
Yes, it's like buying back home too. I mean,
Yeah.
you could buy in the ghetto or
Yeah.
you're around.
Yeah.
What's that? You can search now for child molesters, like your neighbor's a child molester.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you got a neighbor who works graveyard and comes home and
Yeah.
turns on all the light, whatever. But here, yeah, I mean, it's a long ways to come, and if you're not doing your research and it's just like a hotel.
Yeah.
I told Richie, I said, I'm not staying in Walking Street. I got a little rest.
Yeah.
It's too noisy.
Yeah.
For what they say they have in that room.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good information. I appreciate it. I just it's hard because work is very demanding,
Yeah.
and I was laid off in beginning of March last year. So I took advantage of it. Not that I wanted to be laid off, but
Yeah.
I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
So I traveled. I
Oh,
went
nice.
with Daryl to Cartagena, and I came here in May. Started looking around on my own, and that's why I was going to plan on come back. If I wasn't working, to stay longer,
Yeah.
so I can look more. I'm gonna back to work, so I gotta get back.
You should, every night when you're sitting down at dinner, you should have your laptop open and just look at some of the realtors that are in here and just pop up buildings and amenities and pictures and see the location. So you could pre-schedule some Airbnbs when the next time you come back.
It's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to familiarize
Yeah,
myself.
say,
with-
hey, these are the 3 buildings I like. these are the prices that are units in this building that I like and that fits my price rate. I'm gonna rent Airbnb in all 3 of these units and stay in them for 1 week at a time.
It's a good idea. You think 50, 60 US dollars would get me into a condo, and then plus remodel another 15, 20?
Yeah, you know, you gotta understand, you can buy a condo as cheap as 30,000 baht. 30,000 or 30,000 US, right? But all depends on the amenities, size, everything else, and where you're living, right?
What I'm not sure about, and I'll be honest with you, is whether I should sell my property
In the US.
or rent it out.
Yeah.
I'm not one that wants to be a landlord,
Yeah.
especially so far away.
Yeah. It's tough.
But I paid my house off years ago. So
Maybe you can get a property management company and sit on it for 1 or 2 years, make sure that the move over here is exactly what you want,
Yeah.
and then after the 1 or 2 year period, you can say, okay, I'm ready to sell, then you sell it.
Because I wanted to keep it as backup in case.
Yeah, that people do that all the time, and then I would say like 75% of the people decide, hey, I am good over here, I'm going to sell my unit, and then 25% either want to be able to come back and forth, or they end up coming back home, right,
Yeah.
for family emergencies, health issues, or whatever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so,
Because also with the, I think medical and pension, you got to be a U.S. citizen, you know, tax purposes, and so I don't know if I want to deal with that or just wipe it clean and say I'm done.
yeah,
But that, you know, that's a lot of shit to move.
it is.
That's what I was asking Danny. I said, you packed your shit, all of it? He goes, oh, I sold everything.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm picturing looking at my house and my garage and my tools.
Well, there's so much stuff.
I said, I gotta sell all this? I mean, obviously, the only thing I can take is my clothes,
Yeah.
and half of it probably would donate, and just
Yeah.
take the other half to buy here.
Yeah.
So I gotta start, but I do like the culture. I like the food. I like the weather. I'm not a hot person, but humidity is better for my skin, and I love the women.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd end up with a girlfriend here somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Compared to the Bay Area, it's like,
Yeah, you gotta. Well, all Calvin and all those guys are from the Bay Area, so yeah, we've had these conversations. For the
yeah, I
last
mean, you go to a
15
restaurant
years.
or a club and there's like 15 dudes to one chick, and she ain't even all that, and
Yeah.
she thinks she is.
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole different atmosphere there.
Here,
Yeah.
you
When I worked in Bangkok, I literally had headphones on the whole time because, you know, I was in business casual, but I look smart, and they know I'm a foreigner, even if I'm Asian. And it would be no more than a couple minutes of me sitting down, working on my laptop before I had somebody come talk to me or talk to me in the line. And they weren't talking to me because they're just being polite and the weather, you know, about the weather or anything. They wanted to get some inclination of whether I was available or single.
oh, the girls.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because any foreigner that they see, that you can tell when they're on tourist, they're a tourist or they're living there. And
Yeah.
if they can find somebody who's not a tourist, who's living there full time, they want to know if you're available.
Yeah, but it's a little tricky because you don't know what their true motive is.
Well, their true motive is stability, really.
Is what?
Stability.
Bottom line, yeah, I agree. It's just, I guess they're who they are as a person and how they go about it.
Yeah, well, that's.
I mean, I think we all do.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it's-
all takes time.
To some, exactly. I've met walking to your place this morning. This one was, you know, walking on the sidewalk, and she was walking kind of fast. I'm a fast walker, so I kind of backed off. I didn't want her. She was on her phone, right? She kind of did the like. So I backed off, and then I decided to pass her. And as I'm passing her, she's walking just as fast. So I made a joke. I said, "You walk fast." So we started talking. Cute little girl. I thought she was like 21. And she said she just came back from braces. I guess a checkup. She's going back to Juneteenth. Oh, what do you do? She's looking at the bar. I'm talking to her. I said, how old are you? She said she was 37 years old. I said, no way. You're 20 more. She started laughing. But I mean,
Yeah.
just talk. I know I could have said, hey, let's go eat or coffee and
Yeah.
just easy. I mean, not easy in a bad way. Just
Yeah.
very friendly. And
Yes.
good people.
Yes.
Of course, there's a lot of other ones out there, but
Yes.
anyways, I kind of like just the vibe. I mean, I like places like this, but I also like Central Mall. I mean, that's more my style.
Yeah.
But I'm flexible. I can kind of navigate.
Yeah, you should live in the building that Danny lived in.
I walk by there many a time. I don't think that's what
Oh, you don't?
No. As soon as you walk out, you're hit with all that.
Too much.
I think so. Here,
If you're willing to go a little bit closer to the, have you been to the Terminal 21 Mall?
yes, but I haven't navigated around there.
So when you get to Soy 4, that's a quieter neighborhood because there's not bars in the area.
Yeah.
So there's condominiums there, like the North Shore and some of these other buildings.
Yes.
And those are mostly foreigners living in those condominium built sky-rises. And there's some there that you can check out and still have a shopping mall close by.
They call that North Beach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it when I was trying to book hotels.
Yeah.
And I said, no, that's too far away. That's too far
Okay.
away. But I mean, for living purposes, it may not be too far away.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking for vacationing, trying to hit all these areas. I wanted to be more centrally located.
Yeah.
But for living purposes, yeah, I think that. I mean, you just take the bus all the way in.
Yeah.
And you don't have to come all the way to Walking. You can stop at Central, turn around and go back.
Yeah.
So you're not getting a lot of that.
Yeah.
But still, even if I wanted to come here, if I was living up there, you just take your backpack and go for the day.
Yeah.
Shop here, shop there, and then go home, and you're away from. So I met a girl last time I was here on my last day. Really nice. She was funny. She was cute, and we kept in touch. And she called me all the time. So part of my trip here was to see her as well. But she got a little, you could hear jealous. And I don't know if it's their culture,
It is.
but kind of demanding,
Yeah.
bossy, and hey, we're friends, right? So I brought her a Christmas gift, and
Well, come on now. You should know better than this.
What?
You know, just because you say that they're your friends and
Oh.
we're just friends, that doesn't necessarily mean they think that that's.
yeah, but I didn't do anything with it.
I know that, but regardless,
So
they have some sort of attachment.
Yeah, but again, the motive, I don't know what's behind that. So,
Yeah.
anyways, she took me on her motorbike to Buddha Hill. And
Yeah.
I paid for her day off, and we went everywhere. She made me chicken soup, but we kind of got into it a little bit because she started accusing me of, women in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't travel this far to hear this.
Yeah.
This is my vacation. I want a positive memory,
Yeah.
So I had to cut her off, and anyways, she lives on the outskirts.
Yeah.
She's never really told me exactly where. She would FaceTime me all the time,
Yeah.
and I can see where she's at. She showed me the hospital. There's a country club golf course.
Yes, I am Country Club
Yes.
Golf Course. Yeah.
She lives somewhere over there.
She's on the opposite side of Sukhumvit Road,
Yes.
going out of town.
Yeah. That's what she called it, the Sukhumvit. I said, what's
Yeah.
the Sukhumvit?
It's the main dragway that goes out of town.
So she's about 15, maybe 20 minutes on her motorbike.
Yeah.
But she says, I don't know. She has family over there. But
Yeah.
she likes being away from here over there on her days off.
Yeah. Because it can be too much around here for locals.
She's been here like, I think 15 years here.
Yeah.
She's from Korat.
Oh yeah.
Nice girl, but I really think she's looking at me as like payroll.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to send her that vibe. Or,
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, they, like you said, they approach you when
Yeah.
they see stability, and
Yeah.
well, that's good information. I'll if so, I would imagine your complex has available units.
Yep. Every unit. There's so much supply here.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's why you shouldn't be in a hurry.
Yeah, I'll start.
No matter how much somebody tells you that they have a deal. Oh, here's another thing. Whatever prices that's listed, it's always negotiable. I would go in and go well below whatever is listed. So if it's, let's say, 4 million baht, which is 120,000, knock off 33% and see what they say.
Yeah, well, if it's the city.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's.
It doesn't matter if it's sitting or not, if it's whether it's on the market 1 week or 1 year. just take off a third and just give them that price and then go from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good advice. Yeah.
There's so much to buy here.
I'll start looking around. I mean, I really don't want to live in a 37-floor complex.
Yeah.
I mean, I come from the infrastructure engineering side of facilities, and I'm like, I'm not going to be on the 37th floor with a fire.
Yeah.
I'll never get out.
Yeah.
So I kind of like look at those things and accessibilities.
Yeah.
Like, you got one elevator, like kind of like 808.
Yeah.
So I've gone to 808, and I'm looking around, looking at all the fire suppression system, the ins and the outs, and I'm like, fuck this place, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
If there's a fight or a fire here,
Well, you read the Bangkok news, and then when there's a fire, and there's you see the video of people trying to get out,
They can't
and
get
they
out.
can't get out.
Right.
Yeah.
so I look at the same thing on your, I want several ins and outs.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll look around. This area does have a lot when you're walking around. It's got everything. Food,
Yeah.
pharmacy.
But there's tons of those areas, so you just have to go live in it. It just happened. I was in kind of tucked away in Cozy Hill, and it's dead and quiet, and no grocery store, and very few restaurants. I was tired of the coffee shop around my corner. I mean, it seemed cute and nice when I first opened up, and then I realized
How long were you there?
5 years.
That's a long.
Long time to not have anything,
Yeah. You wasted
except for the 7-Eleven.
5 years you can't get back.
Yeah. And I
But-
realized, okay, yeah, it was great for work being closed, but that I should never have bought there.
Not for you.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, at least you made the change. That's it.
Yeah.
And you're in an area.
Yeah,
where,
so when my office moved to Bangkok and I was able to work remotely, I said, okay, I'm putting this thing on the market right away.
So when I went to Bangkok, and I'm still connected with that girl. I didn't tell her I came this time because when you come, I'm like, fuck, I already booked the trip. And
Yeah.
they know if I was to tell her I'm coming to Pattaya with my friends for celebration, they know. And I don't want her getting that.
Yeah.
She can assume it as long as she don't think it and
Yeah.
say anything. So I didn't tell her I was here. I said, hey, do you think we could take a day off and plan a trip and we could spend time? She said yes. So I wanted to go with her on the train to see where she lives.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I would be happy living in Bangkok versus living here.
Yeah, I worked in Bangkok and lived there, and it's just too hustle and bustle and too much cement for me.
Cement, yeah.
Yeah.
All the center, yeah, the
It's
buildings. and-
it's really dusty, hot, and smoggy nonstop. And I was tired of just too many people.
yeah, well, it's like a center
Now,
hub.
now my coworker, my very first coworker that came out here with me, he was from Manhattan, New York City. Boy, he loves Bangkok.
City life.
Yeah, he was not happy here, and we lived down in Rayong too by our shipping facility, and he absolutely hated it. He's like, he goes, Todd, I'm going to ask for a transfer back to the Bangkok office. He goes, are you cool with that? And I'll commute in to see you. I said, hey, no problem, because I knew he was miserable. And he got himself a giant skyscraper that looked like it's from New York City. He's living Bangkok living, you know.
Yeah.
He has his laundromat down, his dry cleaning downstairs, and he has that stuff. He has the doorman at his front door. I mean, he loves that stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was perfect for him.
I've seen you remember Fred? You know
Yeah,
Fred.
yeah.
He sends me videos from like TikTok of different units that got like badass gyms and pools, and
Yeah.
basketball courts, and you'll see them go to the window to get a view of the city. And that freaking floor must be like 40 floors high.
Yeah.
No, I ain't going. No way. It may be cool to go. Imagine getting stuck in that elevator.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. I mean, I get entrapments all the time in that building.
Yeah.
And that's not one happy feeling being stuck in an elevator.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 24 and 44 floor.
Yeah.
So I'll look around. I like the action when I want to go to it, but I don't think I want to live around it.
Yeah.
Kind of like peace, the balance of
Yeah.
some little locals, the shopping, the cooking at home, that sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I like to go out and have a good time once in a while, but
Yeah.
that's not my motive to come here for that.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's in their culture.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people to take their time here, and nothing has to be on a rush.
So you
Now, don't forget, Danny was coming out here for 15 years before he knew that he wanted to sell all his crap and come over here. He knew that because he was coming here so often.
15 years.
Yeah.
I only got about 5 years in.
Yeah.
And
And
that-
plus, he knew the lay of the land because he stayed at so many places. So for him, he was comfortable just selling everything back home. Plus, he didn't have a lot back home. Now, my friend Kevin, he has a lot going on. He has his mom and his sister and cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
So he still owns his unit in San Francisco in Daly City.
Yeah, that's
So he has a-
Daryl lives in that area.
Yeah, so he has a place in Daly City he keeps, but uses property management to rent it out until he's absolutely sure he wants to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of my options
Yeah.
to do that and just
Yeah.
just
You don't have to, do a knee-jerk reaction and do everything all across the board all at once.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I'm just starting to get the lay of the land, like talk to you, get your perspective on why you did what you do and what do you like to hear. And,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're single, so I am too. So I mean, a lot of the guys that we travel with are kind of all in the same boat, age-wise.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking maybe in 4 or 5 years. That puts another 5 years on my 10 years of coming here.
Yeah.
If I continue it.
Yeah.
And see where. That's why I wanted. I know a week isn't enough time to have fun and then go out. I know I need to be here for at least 3 weeks
Yes.
to have my fun, and then okay, I'm done. Let me go here. Let me start sightseeing.
Yeah. Do your what I call everyday living.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's you can't get away and see that if you're stuck
In the
local.
vacation
Yeah.
mode. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that I learned. Daryl was. He talked about it, but I don't think he was that serious. I think he just likes to come and go.
He does. He has too many vacation spots. Plus, I don't think he has a lot of reserves. He only has what the pension is coming in. So he doesn't have any, like a lump sum financial aspect where he can buy himself a condo.
Oh yeah, he just got the liquid coming in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a decent amount because he's getting it from 2 different spots.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a lump sum where he can just buy a unit and rent it. But I think, anyways, even if he did, I don't think he would because he comes and goes to too many different spots.
Yeah, and that's what he likes to do.
Yeah, which is perfectly
I think
fine.
Danny does the same thing. It sounds like.
Yeah, but Danny can afford to have bought a unit.
Yeah,
So
because you need the down payment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in my mind. I mean, I could pull a down payment right now and still keep balance. It's just I'm not sure. I think long term it's the smartest thing to do. Keep the property.
Yeah,
But I'd have to get somebody in it to pay the taxes,
yeah.
and then partial the rent would pay for cost of living here. Because what does it cost you a month for all your amenities, your food, your utilities, you eat out, you drink?
So the ones who are on pensions and Social Security are living off of what I call $30,000 a year. Now, I've seen on the forum, some people are at only 15,000, 17,000 US, but they're really bare bones. Most people are around the 30,000, and that's comfortable. And then people like Danny are probably around 45 to 55, where they're really splurging and spending money.
Really?
Yeah, I think Danny splurges quite a bit, and he's probably spending 1.5 million baht per year. 45,000.
Includes cost of his living headquarters,
Yeah.
quarters, the food, everything,
Yeah,
going out,
yeah,
entertainment,
Yeah,
which you couldn't do that back home
yeah, yeah,
in Las Vegas.
yeah. Now, for me, I don't really look at my bills. I guess if you had to factor in everything else I'm doing, I go out, I buy a lot of, I buy steaks and lobsters, and I buy little phone gadgets, and I buy stainless steel appliances. So, I'm probably closer to 75,000 a year. I'm probably spending, but I'm also still working too.
Yeah, you got the income coming
Yeah.
in. Yeah, but if you're retired or on a budget,
I can drop down to 60 to 50 easily.
like how much are phones here? Like if you bought an iPhone, would you go up to this place?
Yeah.
You can buy a new iPhone.
I would say it's about 5% more than US.
More?
Yeah. For some reason, it's more.
Is that specific to iPhone or any phone? Electronic.
I don't know about Samsung Z Folds, but I know for iPhones, when I looked online versus buying it here, it was like 5% more.
Wow. Because
Now, if you buy a Android phone like Xiaomi or I forgot the other Oppo and stuff, they're actually really cheap.
yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen girls with them, and
Everybody, every foreigner I know who got off the iPhone,
Yeah.
and it's Samsung's, and they have the Oppo and the Xiaomi, they love them.
yeah.
They
yeah.
said like it's a third of the price. Why would I overpay for an iPhone?
I think it even looks like the iPhone.
Yeah.
It's white. Yeah, I've seen
yeah,
that one.
and I honestly have told everybody after this last week. So I got the screen fixed. It wasn't working because I dropped this phone many times, and unfortunately, security measures went on, and so there's a lot of features I can't do. And I said, every single turn around, my iTunes, my movies, my transfer, something is wrong, and it's really frustrating. I need to go back to Android.
Really?
Yeah. And so instead of going to, I have this phone, so I have the Samsung Z Fold flip phone. Which
Yeah, I
love.
remember when that first came out
And
last year.
so I love this phone, but after this one, and one of these two goes down, I'm gonna switch to the Oppo or the Xiaomi,
Really?
which I call the knockoff
Yeah.
Android phone.
Yeah.
And I think, and they're so much far cheaper here, and everybody has them. It's easier to work with. You don't have all these glitches that iPhone has. Plus, iTunes and Apple has all these separate accessories you have to buy, which
course.
never fit.
Well,
And
they want to reel you in so you buy all their products.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, this is the last straw. I need to get off of Apple and iTunes and just get.
Well, I don't use a lot of that. I mean, I have iTunes account, but I'm not. I mean, I have music, but I'm not on it all the time.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, I just need to get off of it and just. So I
Yeah.
think my next phone will be an Oppo or Xiaomi.
Because when I talk to the girls around here, none of them have an iPhone. They had that Oppo.
Yeah.
The one last night had the Samsung Square
Yeah.
I think it's the
Yeah.
Galaxy
Yeah.
5 or something.
Yeah.
She was like,
Well, first of all, as long as you don't need brand new, man, you can get secondhand, 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 generations old, and it's so much cheaper.
"Is this small here?"
Yeah,
here?
yeah. I personally don't think buying a brand new phone is the way to go. I paid a ridiculous, I almost afraid to say, but I paid $2,000 US for the Z Fold.
I remember when you got that.
Yeah. And that is just brand new, and that's just ridiculous. Now, I could have bought
It's a
something.
computer. You could buy a laptop.
I could have got a used phone and saved myself like minimum $700. I could have got one generation older, which still works perfectly, and got it for $1,000.
Wasn't that a write-off from work?
Well, yeah, I write it off, but let's just, for all intents and purposes, I'm still paying the money,
Yeah.
right? So I could have bought a secondhand, one generation old, and paid 50% of the cost. That's why everybody says it's never economically feasible to buy a brand new phone.
No, I mean the one I have now. Actually, I bought it. Right.
Unless you're on a contract, right? America's different because you're on a contract, and
I
they
bought
throw
this one outright.
Yeah, but when you buy it outright, it's expensive
It
for
is.
brand new.
So I ended up buying the 14 Max.
Yeah.
The 15 just came out, and I said I refuse to pay.
How much was the 15 when it first came out?
It was after everything was said and done. I should have bought the 15 because it was only $100 exactly difference.
Oh, that's minimal.
That was the only difference. But the girl, the way she explained it to me, I even had to go buy a special charger for the 14 because she said,
See, this is the kind of-
it'll work on." I had like an 11.
Yeah.
You know, the little cube blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll work if you want to wait around 12 hours to charge it.
Yeah.
Because it needs that faster. So I had to buy their special cord.
Yeah.
And the 14 doesn't work on the 15.
This is why I'm so fed up with, because I use 3 different iPhones for 3 different reasons, and I have to have in my room. I have TV trays set up for the 3 different iPhones that take different chargers and plug-ins and cord plug-ins and
Yeah.
everything else. It's just a racket.
So I think I paid for the 14. I want to say, because I got the extra. I think I paid close to 1,200,
Yeah.
11 something.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to spend the 13 something. Getting too close to $1,500, right? I
Yeah.
said, no, fuck that. By the time I buy a case,
Yeah.
you didn't tell me I needed another charger.
Yeah.
That's another $50, $60.
Yeah.
So luckily I bought the insurance, which I never do.
Yeah.
And
I don't
before
either.
I came on my August trip, last
Yeah.
August here, I dropped that fucker in the kitchen, flat. And I swear, it just seemed like it loaded, like it had a little skip to it on certain things. But I took the trip, I took pictures. But now I notice when I go into photo and I scroll through the photos, I see a gray line.
Yeah, I had this on the same
Do you have
phone.
it?
I did, but that's where I got the screen replaced.
So I'm gonna go back when I get home.
I was gonna get the cheap screen, but then the guy goes, "You're not gonna be happy with the cheap screen." It says, "I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to pay $90 and get the clearer, the official screen." So I just paid the $90 like literally 5 days ago, and I got the.
Don't drop it.
Yeah. Well, so I ordered on Lazada. It's in my room right now, but I have a front and back case.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, I just have the back case. So I need to switch it out and just.
That's why I keep mine. I'm like real protective. It's like, so I need to take it, but it's a hassle.
But imagine if you just keep on buying used phones; they're way cheaper. Like, let's say that you're only
course.
spending $400 or $500 for a used phone. You would still worry about your phone and take care of it, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be like a $1,200 phone.
Right. That's why I have the year,
Yeah.
and I've already this coming August will get, so I better take it in.
Yeah.
But I mean, that means I got to transfer all my pictures. It's a hassle.
Yeah.
Give them the phone. Spend 3 hours in the mall.
Yeah.
Then they're going to tell you, okay, we're going to back it up. You know, you have everything. And then when they give it to you, you lose shit. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. That's where I didn't take this in when I had the line, because I was like, I take it in, something's going to be disappearing.
oh yeah, for sure.
And I was like, I avoided it. Eventually, the phone stopped working. I couldn't like even open it, like turn it on.
Yeah, I need
And
to.
so then I was like, okay, I gotta. I was forced to set my alarm, get here at 10:25, be the first one in line, and get up there at 10:30 and get this phone fixed.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do nothing without a phone.
I know.
And so I had waited and kept on using it when I knew there was a problem.
Yeah.
And so,
They did a. I
the guy
called-
gave me a screen protector for free. So I paid the $90 to get the actual screen changed out because it was the touchpad
The
wasn't
outer
working.
box, I think, is a good.
Oh, I used to have them.
Yeah. I have the slimline outer box.
Oh, do you? Yeah, mine used to be like industrial, like being at the construction site. I
When
used to
dropped
be at
that
construction.
fucker, no, it was like this, because this protected.
Yeah.
It fell. I was in the kitchen multitasking, and there it went. Bam. And they did a software check. They said everything checked fine, but I still think there's something wrong with it.
Well, you know, because you're on the phone every day.
So I'm gonna have to. Anyways, yeah, I'll look around. I just appreciate your time, and
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to talk in the bars. And,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I tried to talk to Danny, but I can't. I haven't still been able to like get an update on his situation because I haven't seen him for many months, and it's so loud in there that I can't get more than one sentence. It's not worth more than one sentence when you're yelling that loud.
You can't have a
Yeah.
good conversation.
Yeah.
You just gotta go with the flow. What's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I leave tomorrow. So today I'm gonna go back, start packing, just kind of take it easy. I don't think I might go out early, but
Hey, you don't want to feel awful on a long flight home.
no. Last night we had a good time. I drank. We went to Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I got the message, but my stomach was bothering me. That's why I didn't come out.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
We would have had fun. So I met a girl at Fahrenheit with Daryl.
Daryl's like a rock star in there, or I don't know. Back in the day, he used to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows anybody still
It
there.
was.
But
it
back
was
in
at
the day,
least
he was a rock
2
star.
years. And she looked. He had a very masculine. She's straight hair.
Yeah.
Not pretty, slender build.
Yeah.
She had and I said, hey, Daryl, is that a dude? Because she just had like a masculine jaw.
yeah.
But I noticed some of the girls that come from the provinces are like that.
They are. And then I see them side by side with their father, and I see the resemblance.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, right?
It's in the bone structure of the
Yeah.
eyes. You can kind of see it, and it kind of throws you off a little bit.
It
Girls
does.
are, no,
They're all girls here.
They're all girls.
Yeah.
So I ended up pulling her, and she was a girl, but she barely spoke any English. So we kept in touch, very little. And so when I went to Fahrenheit, I asked her. He said, she's not here. She's at Schick. So we ended up getting
Next door,
to
right?
Schick.
Yeah.
And I walked in there, and as soon as I walked in, there was a girl in the curtain, the entrance.
Yeah.
And she turned and she smiled at me and kind of waved, and I looked at her like, I was already buzzing a little bit,
Yeah.
but I just walked in.
You and I can't remember last week, but these girls, I was walking down the street here, like literally when I bought the condo, so that's like 4 years ago. And girl tucked me on the shirt and she goes, "Hey, you came to my bar, which has been closed for many years." And she goes, "You came and played pool like 7 years ago," and she remembered me.
7 years.
And this kind of thing happens a lot, right?
It's kind of odd because there's so many dudes here.
Yeah.
Coming and going.
Yeah.
So I kind of glanced at her and I'm like, damn, she's fine.
Yeah.
And we went in and we sat down and I noticed she kind of was looking, and I got a bald head, so they can kind of spot me out, right?
Yeah.
And I had a nice bright shirt.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, here she comes. And we were at the top. She comes walking up to the top. And she kind of leans over and she says, "Hi, how are you?" And I looked at her, and I'm looking at her face, and she put on like, I'm not lying, like 6-7 pounds maybe.
Oh, really?
Filled out like you would not believe. I mean, the legs and the ass, like double the size.
Oh,
she was
really?
She was slender back then, but she had a nice figure.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's your name?" And she said, "Nana." And she knew who I was.
Yeah.
She knew that I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
And I said, "Holy shit." I said, "Turn around." So she turned around. And I was like, "Oh," I'd be like, "Ooh." She pointed to her eyelash. She had fake eyelashes.
Ah.
And then she's now doing all the makeup
Yeah.
to accentuate her. She looked,
You know what's so funny is a lot of the province girls or Isan girls, they come up here and they've never put on makeup, eyelashes. They literally came from the farm,
yeah.
and so they don't know anything.
Yeah, and she told last time, she told me the story about her family a little
Yeah.
bit. And it's kind of sad. I think
It really
her
is.
dad was a heroin user.
Yeah.
And she said he locked up, he was in prison.
Yeah.
She would just use these little words, locked up, and then she was on her phone doing Google after we were done.
Yeah.
And we were just chatting it up. And when I went to use the restroom, I had saved all my change.
Yeah.
And I left it on the table. So I went to use the restroom, and she was getting dressed. And she was putting them all lined up. They were nice silver with the gold center.
Yeah.
She was lining them all up like she was like fascinated, and I'm watching her, and I felt sorry for her because it's almost like she'd never seen. I mean, it was just pocket change, so
Yeah.
I had it in the car. I said, "Here," I said, "Take it," and so we kept in touch. And then she was young. She was like 21. Because I asked her, "How old are you now?" She's 23. So I said, "You were 21 when I met you." And she would text me when I was home. She was, "Nice meeting you." Real
Yeah.
broken. We go for coffee one day.
Yeah.
And I knew she liked me, but we stopped talking. She like blossomed out.
Yeah.
And the way she dances was like a pro.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like a porn star now. Nails,
Yeah.
hair's longer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't I didn't recognize you.
I had a girl in my office. In my office, it's all Thai girls. One of them brought her sister from the farm, from Isan. Like I think she was actually from Korat, and they're farmers.
Yeah.
And sister comes in and she goes, "I gotta go downstairs and take care of something." And she goes, I'll be right back up," because she needed to talk to some Thai girl downstairs. And so her younger sister was in the room and she spoke no English. And she had never used a toilet before. Like she didn't know what a
Toilet?
because they don't use a real toilet in her farm in the province. There's no actual toilet. There's just a hole in the ground.
Oh.
So her standing on the toilet trying to figure this thing out was bizarre. And then I had the garbage can where you had the motion sensor. She was on that thing for over an hour just touching it. She was just mesmerized by because it's like she didn't know anything.
Still in this time, this era.
Yeah. This is like a few years ago.
Wow.
But when you're in a province where you literally don't have running electricity, right? You're living on the farm on a wooden flatbed that's elevated in actual rice fields.
Yeah.
And you're one of the poor rice people are poor people.
When I came in August, I went to Bung. You ever heard of Bangkan? It's north. It's towards Laos.
No.
It is past Udon. I had to fly to Udon Thani, and then I had to. They picked me up So I met a girl, the manager at W14.
Yeah.
I didn't fool around with her. She was just really nice. I
Yeah.
bought her coffee. And so
I like that.
was-
I like that hotel.
It's a nice hotel.
Yeah, nice little coffee stuff in the middle. I actually stay on the first floor, so I don't have to take the stairs up.
Oh yeah. 'Cause
Although the
there's no
stairs
elevator.
up has, I don't know if you know this, but they have laundry machines
Yeah.
in some of the units, right?
Yeah, and she.
So when you stay longer, you
I
go up
ended
there.
up. She transferred me to that room because
Yeah.
I had problems in my room.
Oh.
The freaking sliding door locked. It didn't even lock.
Oh.
And I said, hey, anybody can get in here. Then I picked up the safe. It's not even bolted down.
Yeah, it is. They can carry that out of there. You're like, okay, this is
So
not for
she
me.
moved me
Yeah.
into accommodating, and so I had washing machine, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, we became friends. So when I was leaving, she started crying,
Yeah,
helping with my luggage. So I knew she had a heart, right?
yeah.
So I got her number. I said, don't cry. We stay in touch. So we did. I said, I'll come back and see you. So I planned another trip,
Yeah.
and I broke off from Daryl in here.
Yeah.
I think I saw you that one time I was here, and I went to Bangkok. I think I stayed one night, then I flew to Udon and they picked me up. Oh, and drove me like she told me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Fuck, that was like 3.5 hour ride.
Yeah.
All the way to Wayne, and I stayed in one hotel that's in that area.
You're lucky that you had one hotel because I've stayed in places where there was really no hotel. They talked to somebody, and they had a cot in somebody's room that they
Oh,
gave.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because like there's no hotels in some of these places.
So they're kind of It's kind of sits towards the east side of Laos. The river that separates Thailand from Laos, I was on that river. She
Yeah.
took me there. I took pictures.
But this was not the Golden Triangle.
No, I never. No.
Okay.
It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay.
So they took me to eat, visit the family. So the sister, because they picked me up in a nice Toyota SUV.
Okay, so they got some money.
The sister, she manages. It's like a hardware shop.
Okay.
Over there, and there's 3 locations over there.
Oh.
Sister had 2 iPhones, paid for everything, picked me up, divorced, has a house. They took me to her house. She showed me her house. They're really nice and accommodating, but
That's nice
the
because most
agreement,
of
the agreement was we were friends because I never.
yeah,
But I was sick. I caught like
a bug.
from one of these girls,
Yeah.
and I went on and I was feeling feverish. So I didn't do a lot, but we went to Hong Kong, it used to be a famous tourist area along the river of Laos.
Yeah.
Um,
Not Khon Kaen.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Khon Kaen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there.
That they used to many years ago they found dinosaur bones there. That's why it's famous.
Oh.
Many years
Yeah,
ago.
because it's quiet now. There's
Yeah.
hardly anybody there.
Yeah.
And we had lunch like on the river. So, anyways, I wanted to see what it was like out there, and it is. It's all rice fields.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I could see why they come over to the big cities.
Yeah.
And I was told Udon Thani also has like a nightlife.
Yeah, we do have a small nightlife area. You know why? Because it's I would call it the largest hub in the north part of Thailand. So you got Bangkok,
Yeah.
then you got all the beach stuff. Up north is huge. Think of it as like the Midwest farming zone. You got all this farmland, but one city has to be the biggest city that has central everything, right? That's Udon Thani.
Yeah.
And so we had an office up there. But even then, I didn't want to live in Udon Thani. I lived in Udon Thani for a while. I got bored.
Yeah. There's no beach.
Yeah.
There's but in the airport, I saw some pretty girls.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to understand that a lot of universities are in Khon Kaen and Udon Thani, and there's the wealthier Thai people will send their beautiful daughters to get educated in Khon Kaen and Udon Thani.
In Khon Kaen. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the girl that I met here, she's from Korat.
Yeah.
So recently she took the bus. She was videotaping me taking the bus on the upper level because she has a daughter and the mom's raising the daughter.
Yeah.
These girls got lives too and stories too.
Yeah.
The baby daddy's from China. She didn't cut him off. She brought the baby here, changed the name, they changed the birth certificate.
Yeah.
Now the mom, the grandma's raising her. They don't even know where. They can't even find the baby.
Yeah.
She's over here working, sending money. They got all this like business going on. I'm like, I don't know if I want to know all this. Anyway, she's in Korat, so I kind of learned a little bit about what Korat is, Udon Thani. So when I talk to girls here and they say Isan, and I say, well, where? And then they'll tell me.
Yeah.
Province. So.
Yeah, because Isan can be Chiang Mai, Udon Thani,
Big.
Khon Kaen,
Yeah, it's big. And then Isan goes all the way into the Cambodia side.
Yeah.
So the girl I know that works for the optometrist, she's from Sisikil.
Yeah.
And she showed me pictures my last visit. Her father passed away. They had their services on their land.
Yeah.
They put up all this like tent, temple. She took all the family. Must have been 25, all lined up like soldiers. That's family portrait.
Yeah.
And she was the prettiest one out of all of them. I'm not disrespecting them, but she's pretty eyed, beautiful eyes. And I'm not like, that's your mom? Like I was expecting your mom to be gorgeous, but she was like the youngest.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let me put that picture of her. So she's from Sisikek, but her too. I took her to dinner in Bangkok the last time I was here. And we had wine. I'm talking to her. Now she's comfortable with me, right? And I don't try nothing because I know she's not that way. So I asked her about her personal life. And she said she was married but divorced. And I said, well, what happened? She said, husband cheated on her.
Thai man?
Yeah. So she was drinking, right? Wine. I had a bottle of wine. We already like 2 glasses into it. And she says, he cheated on me. She's drinking. She goes, not 1 time, 2 times. And she got passionate about it. And I'm all like, oh.
So there's 17. I believe there's 17. There's almost 20 Thai girls in my office. And if you ask them, and it doesn't even have to be out of my office, it can be just 20 Thai random girls.
Yeah.
They would say 9 out of 10 times they would say that the Thai man has cheated on them, whether they were married or had they were their girlfriend. They said that 90% of all Thai men cheat on their girlfriends or wives. 90%.
You know, I'm not doubting that. But if you look around, like where we go, there's girls everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to not.
But this
to, right?
it doesn't matter but it can be up in Isan too, up in North Country. Thai men just have a wandering eye. It's the
So
culture.
They call them butterfly.
Yeah.
So this is her from. She's beautiful, like green eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, he cheated on that. I mean, but
Well, think
you
about
don't know.
think about all the celebrities, right, in the movie star business, where like Halle Berry or whoever it was,
Yeah.
and you think Shania Twain, her husbands have cheated. Let me tell you, guys, it doesn't matter who the girl is. They all have they have a wandering eye, and Thai men are the worst. Oh well, they're the second worst. Filipino men are the worst. I always say that 98.8% of Filipino men cheat on their wives or girlfriends. But with Thai people, it's 90%.
Yeah, that the girls, even the girl I was talking to here, two different baby daddies. The first one, since she was like a young girl, I guess I felt sorry for her that after she got to know me and liked me,
Yeah.
and she opened up and told me this. He boxed her.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's another thing.
I don't want to hear
Unlike here in America or other countries, or like especially in some European Scandinavian countries, they lock you up immediately. Like you're guilty first, and then we'll see if you're innocent. Here, it's a common occurrence of Thai men, whether they're drunk or mal, or they just feel like doing it, they'll just box their girlfriend or wives.
So she said, "Oh, well, black and blue."
Yeah.
And but I got to know her a little bit too. I'm not saying she's no angel.
Yeah.
Because her personality, she's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
And she can be disrespectful. Like I can hear that province in her come out. You ever hear the saying back home? You can take the girl out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the girl.
Yeah.
Here, it applies.
Yeah.
You may have came from the province, and you might be here, but some of the provinces still.
That's so
in you.
funny how you bring this up right now, because I just had a video call with a financial girl that's from my hometown, and she's not. Bellevue is kind of upscale, nice, proper. That's where I grew up. She grew up in Tacoma, which is kind of like the ghetto. And every so often, when we're doing a video call separately, the little ghetto talk
You
comes
can
out.
pick it up, yeah.
Yeah, and it's different than I talked to a coworker who grew up in Bellevue or upper scale.
Yeah, the
And
language and the phrases.
And I just had a video call with her.
The buzzwords
And
they use.
yeah, and it's different. Yeah.
So I don't say nothing. I mean, I'm like twice her age, and I'm not trying to mislead her. I really like her as a person. That's why I bought her a gift and her daughter a gift.
Yeah.
But I'm also not trying to take her down a path that I'm your meal ticket, and I'm not looking to send you money every month. You know.
Well, that's why, you know, we have an office in Makati in the Manila, Philippines, and they offered me a chance to live and work there, but I didn't want to live in the Philippines. And it's a nice area, but every Filipino girl that meets me wants a relationship. So I just don't. I'm up. No matter, even when you're up front and say, "Hey, I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
I don't want a relationship." They say, "Yeah, I understand." They don't. They don't believe it, or they think they can change you.
Yeah.
And so that's why I don't. Although I'm not working much in the Philippines anymore, just a couple business trips a year, I don't even go on a date. Like, if a girl in my office says, "Hey, I got a sister who's coming in, she's bored, can you take her out?" I said, "No, I cannot take her out."
No, I cannot take
Like,
her out.
she goes like, "I'm just asking you to like keep her entertained for a couple hours
no.
because I'm busy at the office." I was like, "No." Like, I've already gone this route too many times.
Yes, and that's why
Yeah.
I just kind of diss myself, and that's, you know, I'm not here to explain myself.
Yeah.
I'm not in a relationship. I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's why
That's why you got to limit the amount of time, or how many days, or how often you connect with them, because in their mind, you spend a little bit too much time with them on a trip, then they're going to think other things. But if you space it out and there's enough time,
Yeah.
or you only see him one time,
Yeah.
they realize, okay, he's serious about just being friends, and I only get to see him the one time, you know.
Yeah,
here
well,
a trip.
that's you're right, and that's why I didn't. She's a drama girl.
Yeah.
Because I got to know her.
Yeah.
She likes watching Chinese drama
Yeah.
late at night. She's already tried a couple times in our phone conversations to kind of like quiz me, or why didn't you pick up your phone, and I would say, hey, calm down, you know, and she kind of rechecks herself. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ka. But it's fake,
Yeah.
because who she really is comes out, and that's why I'm saying I think her personality may have contributed to the boxing of the,
Yeah.
and who knows if they drank. I don't know. She drinks now.
Yeah.
So anyway, she moved on, and she met I guess an Asian Chinese guy.
Okay.
Because her father has 2 wives, a Thailand wife here, and a Chinese wife.
Yeah, I've heard this many times.
So she would go visit. I asked her, how did you go to China? I mean, you gotta have some connection. Well, it's the stepmom.
Yeah.
And she started working in massage there, and I guess she met a young boy or whatever, and he got her pregnant. Well, his family, up to almost her birth, wanted a boy, and they found out it was a girl. They told her to abort it, and she broke off. She said no, so she came back. That's why she changed her name.
Oh.
She goes by Alyssa. That's how
Yeah.
I know her. But her real name is something else.
Yeah.
She doesn't have an address in Korat where she came from. Now it's somewhere in Korat. And the baby, when the baby was born here, she changed the baby's name. So the grandma took, at like, I think the baby was like 4 weeks old.
Yeah.
Got on the bus and took her to the freaking province of she's telling me all this.
Yeah.
So they video, she sends money all the time. So the more I got to know her, the more I'm realizing, like, I think you're thinking more of me. And I'm not even like sexually attracted to her. I like her as a friend.
Yeah.
So eventually when I go back, I may message her, but
Yeah.
it's better that I just stay away. Just,
Yeah. Because
They'll adapt.
Yeah, no matter what you say to them, they have their expectations change and evolve, and so you got to be the bigger person to address these things early on.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna message her today or but let her know that you're free. Go do what you.
That's
do.
why, even I had dinner with somebody and they said, "Oh, I'll take you to the airport," and I was like, "No," because the whole taking you to the airport thing is a whole bigger thing. Even if you're like only went out one time.
Yeah,
And
see,
so-
I'm learning this about their culture.
Yeah.
Because just like the manager from W14, so she she quit and went back. That's why I ended up going over to see her.
Yeah.
But she initially said we're friends, and I said, yeah, friend. We made it clear, but she don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
She won't. I'll say Merry Christmas. And
Yeah.
she got her feelings, so she thought that maybe it could have been something more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. and then you hook up with the wrong ones, and they're over there dancing on every dude's lap.
Yeah.
Interesting life here.
It is.
But I'm sure there's good girls. You come across good girls.
Yeah. But I would see them in a different format. Don't forget, I'm on a work situation here, right? A big bulk of the time. So the type of girls I interact with here and in Bangkok and even up north in Yukon, completely different setup in terms of, well, who am I interacting with and who I'm coming across versus a person who's just only here.
Yeah.
City's different, culture's different, the type of people I'm interacting with in the business community completely different.
Right. Yeah, they're on a professional level. It's business.
Yeah. So that changes quite a bit.
But that's why I walk around, and kind of observe and see, and yeah, all these massage girls. They're all in the same boat. They're just doing and hoping for the same thing.
Yes. Well, wouldn't you, if you're extremely poor or your family's poor, or you work in the rice fields or you come from the rice fields, and you can have a better life to move up in the world, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, but they're misleading too, because when they say that they're not trying that, or they don't want that, or they're not being honest with themselves either.
That too? Yeah, that's true.
So it's a gamble. I think she took a gamble, a chance at it. But in the beginning, she chatted with me, and then she kind of cut me off. She says, we can't talk every day. I'm all, you're the one who calls me. I mean, all right. And then like a week and a half goes by, and then she started calling again. So something changed. She saw me differently, and I think and it wasn't because of we're the same age or she's not attracting me in that way. I think what she can get from me.
Yeah.
So I think it's she misled herself.
Yeah.
So I think she should, have to take some responsibility for what her actions are trying to do. So I'll see what happens, but I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to mess up my trip.
Yeah.
Start having this long, drawn out.
This is your vacation, so you got to do your vacation because you could spend all your time like Daryl sometimes does, taking care of all these promises you've made.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's not a vacation.
No. That's why
I told Daryl and I told what's his name?
Richie?
Not Richie. Their other friend, this other Filipino guy who's living in San Diego.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
But anyways,
all these commitments, and then
you can't.
That puts pressure on you.
It does, and then it's not really a vacation.
Right. That's why I branched off. And she works with older. I'm sure they're going to tell her, he's. Because she was already like accusing me of being booty, and I'm all like, even if I was, I mean, should you really be? I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to be disrespectful when I do it in front of their face, but I'm on vacation. You happen to be a good part of it. You could have. I mean, I would have taken her to eat. But anyways.
Yeah, it's different here. That's why understanding both sides of the culture is very important.
Yeah. I haven't. It's fun. Now that I'm thinking, I don't think I've talked or met to any Thai men. It's like a coffee shop. No, it's all women.
I mean, after all these years, I only have a handful of Thai men that I'm friends with, and that's because a lot of them eventually they want to borrow money. Or they're just not good people. That too. That's a big part of it. A lot of it is they're not good people.
What do you mean these people that taught?
Well, I'm talking. I mean, sometimes I meet them from a mutual friend or a brother or something like that. And I'm not talking about ones that are working the bars like as a DJ guy or the bouncer. I'm talking about just normal people. But even then, a lot of times there's issues with, they're abusive to the girls or they drink too much. Or eventually it gets to the point where they say, hey, this is a foreigner, he has money and I need to borrow some money. Hey, by the way, can you let me borrow money? And so then I was like, okay, I gotta cut them off.
So how do you work the money electronically transfer? You just get open up a bank account here and you just transfer, that's it?
Yeah.
So as long as you got money coming in wherever.
Yeah.
Just like
I think
go
some of the
online?
ones like Citibank and Chase, Charles Schwab and Chase are good.
Okay.
I use Charles Schwab, the free savings account. Get an ATM card, and I use the bank app here. Super easy. And because they reimburse you for any ATM fees, you can just withdraw from that all day long, every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll keep digging around and make some decisions, and I do like coming out on vacation.
Yeah.
Living it, I don't know. That's another.
Yeah, so that's why you don't have to commit to anything, you know. But you just basically, just kind of slowly go through the process.
Yeah, it takes time. Thank you. Have a good day.
I'll bring you guys lottery next time. But you know, I do that in the morning, not in the afternoon. It's always in the morning.
Place always busy, huh?
Yeah. They even have people waiting at the door first thing in the morning at 8:30 or 8 or whatever they open.
Yeah, I've been going to Amazon Coffee.
Yeah.
I go there at 7 in the morning, right when they open.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with the senior citizens.
Funny.
So how long are you staying here?
This trip they had me here for 90 days.
Okay. Right back to Seattle.
Yeah.
How long is the flight?
I'm routing through Istanbul, Turkey. So because the ticket is covered by the company, they fly me business class. So
That's nice.
yeah, it's a nice.
Yeah, you said you coach.
Yeah, it's a nice flight. And so layover in Istanbul, I take a shower, I get a free room, and I take a shower and a free place to sleep for. My layover is pretty short this next time, so it's only like 3 hours, so it's probably not enough time to sleep, but I'll sleep and lay down at least for an hour and then get on back on a flight. But then I get the lay down bed, so
Cool.
yeah.
I walked in here one time.
The beauty place.
A girl shaved my head in here, and she showed me the brush, so I
Oh,
can
nice.
brush. But
Are you headed back to your hotel?
yeah, I'm gonna go back. Like I said, I'm gonna get caught up on some packing and
Where are
just
you
kind of
staying?
organized. On Soy 13,
Oh yeah.
off of Second Road, Dynasty Inn.
Yeah, I know Dynasty Inn.
Tucked away. It's decent.
Those were all my hotels. I stayed at the White Condo Hotel. I stayed at.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna stay there.
Yeah, I stay right by. What was that English pub? The Sportsman Pub. I used to stay
Yeah,
in Soy 13.
there's a lot of people eating breakfast there.
Yeah, I used to stay all the time in 13 because it was centrally located.
Yeah, it's a good.
And then I can walk down to Second Road and go to the Avenue Mall.
Second Road Avenue Mall,
Yeah, on
Villa Market.
Yeah, Villa
Yeah,
Market.
yeah, that's where I go.
That's the Avenue Mall.
Okay.
And I used to go to the gym there.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be in that area all the time.
Yeah, it's a good area.
I stayed on Soy 13 every year except for once I bought my first condo.
Cool.
Okay.
Hey man, thanks. Appreciate your time and good luck to you. And
Yeah, just send me a message anytime you have any questions or
okay,
anything.
I will. Take care.
Okay.